All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Power 30 on Wednesday. If we have not had the pleasure of meeting in person or via Zoom yet, my name is Caitlin Morlino. I am an Emerald. And I'm super excited to be on here, y'all. It has been, we all took a break for July. But it's been a minute since I've been on. I had a baby the end of winter, so things were a little crazy getting adjusted to 3 kids. So I had taken a couple weeks off of coaching on here, and then I came back for a couple days. But I'm excited to get back into it, back into this schedule, and happy to share some stuff with you today. So, all right. If you don't know me, I'm very straightforward, no fluff, no sugarcoating. We want to just get to it. And here's the shirt wrinkling, toe stepping, you're right, honest to goodness truth about the stuff. But I wanted to share a story with you. Does anybody on here garden? Does anybody have a garden? Drop it in the chat, raise your hands. Yes. So we have a garden, and I was out there the other day and I was picking weeds, right? And I was just like thinking to myself, it was quiet. And my thoughts were just running. And I'm like, I swear I was out here yesterday picking these weeds. Like, I swear the weeds are tripling in size and the plants are growing, right? Fruit's getting big, vegetables are getting big, but it's like, why are these weeds so dang high already? I'm like, what is going on? And so my mind just started to run with it. And I don't know about you guys. I've been in this business for over 7 years now. I can hear a podcast, I can hear a speaker, I can hear a preacher, I can watch a Netflix show, I can watch a documentary, I can listen to somebody talk, and my brain always relates everything to Plexus. Like, I'm totally brainwashed by Plexus. Everything relates. I'm a huge sports fan. Every stinking sports game I watch, every interview I hear, I'm like Plexus. Like, it relates so much back to our day-to-day lives. And I'm like picking these weeds, and I'm like, this is like my freaking personal growth journey out here. I found my personal growth journey in the weeds of the garden, right? Because I'm like, we water it, we tend to it. I pick these weeds, I get the rotten vegetables off, right? So they're not sucking up nutrients that they don't need. I get them off, I trim them. You deadhead your flowers, you get all the old, the yucky, the rotten, get that stuff out. Then you're cleaning up the weeds, you're pulling these things. And I'm like, this is a never ending job. But, right, day after day after day, even though it seems slow, the plants are growing. There is more vegetables on the plant. You deadhead your flowers and you're like, God, they look pitiful. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to look like. Did I kill it? Like, there's 0 flowers on there. And you go out 2 days later and you're like, oh my gosh, look at them. There's flowers they are beautiful, right? You go out the next day and the cucumbers you thought that were like 2 inches long are now 16 inches long. And you're like, I should have picked them yesterday. You're like, my gosh, look at all of this. The pepper plants are going crazy, right? But the in between of pulling those weeds that are like tripling in size overnight, right? You get one rainstorm and you're just like, what in the world? That is what we have to do day in and day out in our personal growth journey. I don't care where you are in this company. I don't care if you quit Plexus tomorrow. I do care if you quit Plexus tomorrow, but if you are going to continue any amount of growth in your life, you are going to have to pull weeds daily. You are going to have to get down on your hands and knees. You are going to have to pull them out, and you're going to be like, didn't I just pull the same one yesterday? How is this 2 times bigger than the one I pulled yesterday when I was at? That is exactly what it's going to be like. I don't care the amount of experiences. I don't care your rank. I don't care, the baggage you're pulling with you. It doesn't matter. We all have the weeds and we have to tend to them. We can't ignore them. Like, I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to, that one over there, it'll be fine. No, you want to know what happens? The weeds are coming up through the tomato plants. They're sucking the nutrients out. They're draining everything in there. It's like, why did I take all the time of spending the money on the plants, of tilling up the garden, sweating my butt off, putting the stakes in, putting the fence up, if I'm just going to let the weeds take over. And it ain't the fun part, y'all. My kids love to come out and harvest the vegetables. They got their bowls, they got their side by side, they load it up. This is fun. The second I'm like, can you come get this weed? They're like, I don't know, I'm hot. I'm like, you've been out here for 7 hours. Now you're hot. Like, get in here and pull these things out, right? That's the cruddy work that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to pull weeds. Nobody wants to do it. But if we're not going to show up every day and get into the weeds of our business and the weeds of our personal growth in and out of Plexus, those plants are not going to make it. It might be a slow death. Like, you might be like, it's okay. It's fine. I can still walk around in here. It's good. They're fine. I've got cucumbers today. I've got peppers today. I've got squash today. But you're not making it to the end of summer. They're going to die. They're going to get strangled out. You're going to miss vegetables. You're going to miss fruit because they're hidden, not in just the plant, but the weeds that are coming up from the bottom. You're going to miss the opportunities. You're going to miss the callings. You're going to miss the people because you have not gone out every single day, surveyed the situation, right? Taken the temperature on the room. Like, what's going on out here? What do we need? We need water if it hasn't rained. We need to pull the weeds. Do we need to take the old, yucky, rotten, headed on its way out fruit? We need vegetables. We need to get that stuff off. So those are the things we need to be showing up, right? And we can parallel this to real life, our regular lives, day in, day out, Plexus, non-Plexus, whatever. And we can put this right into our business. What are the things you're doing every day that is giving your garden nutrients, right? What is watering the plants? But what is the things that are the weeds that you just refuse to pay attention to? What are those things? Is it the amount of excuses that are piling up of why you couldn't do your things today? Why you just didn't get it all done? Is it the, for me, I have a good sized team. I have veterans on my team, right? For me, it's finding new people right now. Am I going and making sure every single day I am mentioning and talking to Plexus with somebody that I've never mentioned it to before? Am I following up with the people? Am I going out of my way? Am I getting on my hands and knees, sweating or not, muddy or not? Am I pulling those weeds? Am I talking to those people so that I can see the hidden fruit? Y'all, listen, like, I know, especially for moms, I don't know the stay-at-home situation for dads or whatnot, or if you're super social or not. But like, I know when I became a mom, it is so much easier to stay home. It is so much easier to stay home, as bored as you get, right? It's like, do I really feel like peopling today with all of this craziness? Like, do I really feel like getting involved? Do I really feel like dragging them out? Right? It's easier sometimes to hit the drive-through of whatever we're doing and not go in the store. It's easier to, since COVID, order curbside and have my Target ordered brought out to me so I don't have to unload the car, right? But what are we doing every time? We're cutting off interactions with people every time we choose those things, right? They're weeds, guys. I'm like talking to myself too. Like, there's so many times that I choose to like not be social because it's easier, because I just don't feel like it. I don't want to bring up the conversation because it doesn't seem like a good time. But here's what I'm going to tell you about Plexus Conversations on the Go. So this whole week we're at our 4-H fair where I live, and we're spending day in and day out at the fair. So a lot of conversations are on the go, like everybody's busy. Excuse me, can you wait? Okay, you can wait till I'm done. I will help you in a minute. Thank you. A lot of conversations are on the go. So it's like easy to be like, I don't know, if I bring that up now, I can't finish the conversation. Listen, you don't have to finish every conversation right then and there. Okay. But you need to plant that seed so you can go back and water it later. Like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, I'm going to shoot you a message. I'll shoot you a message. I'll shoot you a video. We'll chat about it later. Okay. Go have fun. Go enjoy, we'll see you later. that is okay, right? The weeds start to be like, I don't have time to talk about that right now. I don't even have a sample on me. I'm not gonna, and then you say nothing. You say nothing. And then what happens, y'all, because we've all done this, they walk away and like for the next 4 hours, we're like, why didn't I say something? I should have said something. And then you feel super guilty about it, right? So are you doing that? Are you avoiding interactions and not pulling those weeds of discomfort for that time? Are you not sending the messages? Are you not being bold enough? Are you skirting around conversations hoping that they get the point? Are you being passive aggressive? Are you not really willing to look and see like, okay, why am I stuck right now? What is happening? Why are people falling off? What, like, are we onboarding correctly? Take the temperature of your business, like see what is going on and be willing to get in and pull those weeds, right? A couple of my girls are doing like a, I don't know what they're calling it, but it's like 75 hard, but it's not. And I noticed somebody had said something about the reading portion. They got to read like 10 minutes a day or something. And she's like, I don't read. Like, I don't. Okay. That sounds so simple, right? You're like, oh, okay. It's 10 minutes. Do you know how hard it is for people to read 10 minutes a day? I mean, it sounds like, oh, yeah, I got 10 minutes. Listen, 10 minutes to read and actually absorb what you're reading is harder than you think. Is it simple? Yes. But to clear your mind for 10 minutes and absorb what you're reading and do it every single day takes commitment. Okay. But that 10 minutes of reading something positive or listening to audio and really, it's not like a podcast or whatever you choose to listen to, the book, and taking that is in 30 days, that is going to make a difference. That is going to leave an impact. It is going to add up, just like the weeds. Okay. I can't let them go for 30 days. I mean, let alone 3. You're going to get all of the negativity, all of the feels, all of the things are just going to keep growing. And that plant is slowly going to stop producing. And then all of a sudden your numbers have stopped going up. Your numbers are now going backwards. You people dropped off. People don't want it. And you're like, I don't understand what happened. What happened was you skipped 10 days, 30 days, 2 months, whatever, of weeding yourself and your business. And now you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know why everything's dead. Right? We all do. We're like, I don't know where everybody went. It's because you stopped paying attention to the outside factors of what is affecting the growth of that plant. And, there's also balance, guys. I cannot stand out there and water that garden for 48 hours and then not weed it for 2 days and be like, but I don't get it. I watered it all the time. I did it all the time. I picked all of the stuff. You can't do some of it, you guys. We've got to have balance. We've got to have balance in our business. And the hard thing, and this, when my plants were starting to grow, how like squash, and they have like a specific looking leaf, and then pepper plants have a specific looking leaf, right? Well, every so often this weird leaf appears and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Is that part of the, and we had one in our pepper plant. I called my husband over. I'm like, I don't want to pull that because is that part of the pepper plant? And he's like, I don't think so. No, that don't look the same. But they were so similar looking. I literally had to get down on the ground, look under the plant and be like, okay, that's the stem of the plant. This is a weed. I had to inspect this weed because it looked so similar. We do that in our business, you guys. There's things that we're not handling. There's things that we're not addressing because it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't seem that bad. It's not that big of a, are we sure? And we're not willing to really look and see, like, is this a problem? Is this an issue in my business? Is this an issue? Is this a me thing, right? We're huge on reflecting, like, how could I have done that better? How could we improve this? What's my stumbling block here? And we have to get down on our hands and knees and be like, okay, where is this coming from? Like, this is okay, this is the plant, this is the weed, this is the, yeah, Sean, great point. We need to teach people to do that, because I don't know about you guys. When I joined 7 years ago, I didn't even know what personal growth was. Like, I didn't even know people actually went to that section in the library and in the bookstore. Like, who does that? Right? Just not a thing. Right? Now, I can't not know it. Right? I'm like ruined. Okay. I'm ruined by personal growth and like positivity all the time and like mindset and like, yes, you can't unsee it. You're just ruined for the all in the best ways. But we have to teach people that. Sean's right. They don't know. They're coming in and they're like, personal growth, who knows that? Won't you, like, what do you mean? Don't you just listen to the radio every time you're in the car? No, we listen to podcasts on your car. You listen to what? Like, huh? So we need to teach people how to do those things. Identify the weeds, identify the things that, that my kids know, like, the thistle plants that have the thistles on, like they know, like they've got their stick, they're pointy, they hurt. Don't grab those. Don't, we got to get these out. That this, if they have the little blue flowers on them, get them out. That's a weed. We have to teach them to identify what's good, what's bad, what needs to stay, what needs to go. How do we improve these things? So it was really just like a moment out there, and I'd much rather be outside than in the house. So my brain was functioning so much better, I feel. And I was like, this relates so much to my Plexus business, because I hate pulling weeds. But I can tell you what, when I'm done and I like walk out of that garden and I turn around and I latch the gate, I'm like, it looks good in here. Like, can walk between everything. Like, we can clean it up. And I'm like, perfect. And then you know what happens? I walk out there tomorrow and I'm like, what the heck happened out here? What the heck happened? This looks so good yesterday. Or I'll tell my husband, you need to go look at it tonight because it looks really good. Don't wait till tomorrow. Because it's going to look like I didn't do anything. Right? So that's what I want you guys to do with your business. Okay. Every morning, I want you to walk out. I want you to open the gate, and I want you to be like, all right, what we got to clean up today? What do we got to do today? What is going to matter today? And you can't just do all the bad, right? Because that's just going to put us in a yucky headspace. You got to do the bad. You got to do the good. You got to, put the nutrients in the plant. You got to harvest your stuff. That's exciting. It's exciting when my kids are walking in the house with a bowl full of everything. And I'm like, awesome. Put it on the counter. Like, yes, we're eating squash tonight. Like, that's a good feeling. I don't know if you guys have chickens, but literally the best the best feeling in the entire world is when your chicken lays their first egg. Okay. That is the best feeling in the entire world. All right. It's kind of the same thing. Got to do all the grimy, hard work. So don't forget that, there is moments in that garden where you're harvesting all this stuff and you're like, this was so worth it. This was so worth it. This is so exciting. Because when I'm cooking with the vegetables that we've grown, I'm not thinking about picking weeds. I'm not thinking about it. Right? I focus on them when I get out there. I get it done. I get them gone. I'm like, yes, get them out of the garden, throw them out back. Let's move on with our day. That's what I want you to do with your business. I want you to get up, you should go out, unlock the gate, look at it, be like, okay, we've got to clean this up. That one's definitely got to go. We've got to get the rotten stuff that's all wet laying in the ground. We got to get that stuff up. What needs to be done? Which plant needs more attention today? What am I going to harvest today? What am I going to celebrate today? So that when you close the gate, AKA when you go to bed, you feel like, dang, that was a good day. I did enough today. It was worth it today. I can go to bed in peace. And you wake up and do the same thing again tomorrow. So keep this analogy in your brains, okay, on the forefront. Show up every day, weed that garden so that you can harvest all of that healthy fruit, vegetables, flowers, whatever it is for you. Because we want to just see you guys continue to explode. You're doing amazing. Keep your personal growth and your mindset in the right place, right? Get through all of the weeds and have a healthy garden. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I'll see you next week. Bye.